The OpenTelemetry operator for Kubernetes helps us automate the creation of OpenTelemetry collectors and manage them in a Kubernetes cluster. The OpenTelemetry operator also allows us to automatically inject the zero-code instrumentation into pods for different programming languages. This allows us to instrument things like metrics, logs, and traces from containers running in our cluster with zero code. For this to work, we need a few Helm charts, so we install the OpenTelemetry operator chart. We also deploy the cert manager chart, which is a dependency. To do that, we say Helm install cert manager, followed by Helm install OpenTelemetry operator. Then we create a collector. Now the collector is something that's introduced with the OpenTelemetry operator. So you say kind OpenTelemetry collector, you give it a name, and you can do things like set memory limits and requests, set node selectors and labels. But the important part is this config section. The config section allows us to specify receivers, processors, as well as exporters, and then put it all together using a pipeline service. So here you can see we enable a OTLP receiver. This is where our traces and metrics will come in. We then specify some basic processors like memory limiter to avoid our OpenTelemetry collector from running out of memory, and a batch processor. This allows us to batch things up before exporting it. Then we have some exporters. We firstly export our traces to Tempo. This is a tracing data store running in our cluster, and we define an exporter for Prometheus. So we're running a Prometheus data store inside of our cluster. Then we put it all together using a service pipeline. We have a traces pipeline and we have a metrics pipeline. And in both these pipelines, we're using our receivers, our processors, and we tell it what exporters we want to enable. So the Tempo exporter and the Prometheus remote write exporter. We simply kubectl apply this to our cluster, and then clients can send metrics and traces to us. In this example, I have a kind instrumentation. I'm using the zero code instrumentation for OpenTelemetry. The most important setting is my exporter endpoint here. I'm pointing to this trace collector in my cluster that I've just created. And then there are specific settings for .NET, there are some for Go, but other programming languages are supported as well. I kubectl apply this into my cluster. That means all my .NET and my Go applications will be auto-instrumented. That means in Grafana, I can hook up these data sources so I can see my Prometheus and my Tempo database, Tempo holding my traces, Prometheus holding my metrics. I can deep dive into individual traces over here. I can also explore my Prometheus data source, and I can see I have full HTTP visibility now. If you want to see a full video on the OpenTelemetry operator, check the link down below.